Shakuni's strategy. Duryodhana hated the Pandavas since childhood and wanted to get rid of them. But despite his many attempts, they kept growing more and more powerful. He tried to poison Bhima when they were children. That did not work. Bhima escaped and grew stronger. He tried to kill them in the wax palace. But the Pandavas not only escaped, they became more powerful by virtue of marrying Draupadi and creating an alliance with the mighty king Drupada. And now Yudhishthira had become an emperor. During the Rajasuya, Duryodhana stayed in Indraprastha as a guest. The palace was constructed by the Asura Maya using precious gems and stones that were never before seen by any man. These stones and tiles glazed and reflected. The entire palace looked like a maze of mirrors, and Maya had constructed it beautifully to create several illusions of pools, gardens, among others. One day, when Duryodhana was walking through the halls of the palace, he saw a beautiful swimming pool. He desired to swim and took off his clothes and jumped into the pool. Only it wasn't a pool. It was merely a reflective illusion of a swimming pool. Draupadi and Bhima saw this and burst out laughing. Duryodhana was humiliated. Once he was back in Hastinapura, he lamented for days. He lost his appetite and grew weak. Shakuni saw his nephew suffering and inquired, "O Duryodhana, why are you torturing yourself? What is the reason for your misery?" To this, Duryodhana replied, "Oh uncle, I'm incredibly jealous of the Pandavas. No matter what I do, they only seem to grow more and more powerful. I am at a loss. How do I defeat them?" Shakuni took Duryodhana to Dhritarashtra and told the king, "O king, your son Duryodhana has not been eating well and looks pale and weak. He is emaciated and is extremely worried." The blind king was concerned. He asked Duryodhana the reason for his misery, and Duryodhana told him about his jealousy of the Pandavas. The king replied, "Son, you have everything a man can ask for. You are strong and healthy. You are the ruler of Hastinapura. The kingdom is vast, and there are thousands of people who respect and adore you. The Pandavas are prosperous in their own right. Do not let jealousy dictate your emotions." Duryodhana would not listen. He explained everything about the humiliation he received in Indraprastha and that he would never be peaceful unless the Pandavas are defeated. Dhritarashtra continued, "Son, your thought process is not correct. Even if you desire to fight the Pandavas, it is impossible for you to defeat them in battle. Leave alone the fact that Yudhishthira is now an emperor and is supported by thousands of kings. Leave alone the fact that the Pandavas are supported by the mighty Drupada, who is now their father-in-law. But remember that Lord Krishna is by their side. There is none in this world who can defeat Krishna. There is none more skilled than Arjuna. There is none stronger than Bhima. You cannot defeat them in battle. Don't let foolish thoughts grow. Live in peace with your cousins." Before Duryodhana could respond, Shakuni intervened. "O king, if permitted, I know of a way to defeat the Pandavas without fighting them. We can defeat them without shedding a drop of blood." Duryodhana beamed and looked at Shakuni. "Uncle, tell me, what is this way?" Shakuni continued, "Yudhishthira is fond of playing the game of dice, even though he is not good at it. I, on the other hand, am an expert at the game of dice. There is no one in this world that can defeat me at it. turning to Dhritarashtra, Shakuni said, "If you, O king, invite Yudhishthira to play, he cannot refuse. He will be tempted. We will get him to bet his possessions and win them over." Shakuni had used the bones of his father to make his dice and practiced hard at it. The dice was said to obey his command, thus making him invincible in the game of dice. Dhritarashtra was not convinced and he responded, "I shall consult Vidura and let you know my decision on this matter." Duryodhana replied, "O father, if you consult Vidura, he is certain to dissuade you from this plan, and I will certainly kill myself as I cannot bear to live second in status to the Pandavas. When I die, you can be happy with Vidura and your beloved Pandavas." Duryodhana's words pierced through Dhritarashtra like a knife cutting through butter. How many times have we uttered words that hurt our parents? For what cause? The advice of our parents always stem from good intention. We may not like to hear the advice, but they come from life experiences and wisdom. Dhritarashtra wanted to consult wise ministers and do the right thing, but Duryodhana wouldn't listen. Looking at the scenario from the outside, it is clear that Duryodhana's feeling and plan were incorrect. We can clearly see the evil intention. However, just like him, we sometimes let negative emotion take over our better judgment. It is therefore not only important to think and live righteously, but also recognize that we may not always be in control of our emotions. We may be driven by anger or jealousy and hatred. It is therefore equally important to listen to words of wisdom from our parents and teachers. Even if we don't agree with the advice, the very least we can do is to evaluate them with composure and not utter hurting words in anger. Dhritarashtra was weak for the love he had for his son, and he commanded that an arena be constructed for the game of dice, and he sent an invitation to Yudhishthira. Does Yudhishthira accept the invitation? Do the Pandavas and Kauravas play the game of dice? We will see in the next chapter.